All right, it's media day time, and we're joined by Cleburne Head Coach Casey Walraven. Coach, talk a little bit about 5A Division II, especially last year. Y'all went the zone route. That had to be a different feel to it. This year, you're going all in, a regular district play. But how did last year go for you, playing the zone schedule and trying to get yourself into the playoffs that route? Even though you guys ended up with 1-3, but you still had a solid above 500 year.
Yeah, it was. It was interesting. I don't know that anyone wants to do that again. I mean, there was definitely a lot of challenges with COVID, and it made us go into zone play, and that put us, on a game against Everman for a playoff bid, and Everman played really well, and they earned that win and went on to the playoffs, locking that win up that night. But last year was a big senior group for us, but it was a big senior group for the majority of the district. It's a very, very good district. So many great coaches, so many great players. Timberview coming into it. Obviously Aledo. Nothing needs to be said about them. They speak for themselves. But Timberview coming in was a big talented program. Everman's talented every year. Burleson, Seguin definitely took a jump up last year, and they're full of athletes, and everyone's getting better. And this year I think there's a lot of holes to fill for a lot of teams, but it's every Friday night you've got to come with your best, or you're going to find yourself in a tough situation.
That's an interesting psychology deal. Talk about going into game a week preparation when you go up against a team like Aledo, especially
Yeah.
with their pedigree and the athletes they have. It's
hmm
a tough battle. How do you get your team ready to go into a game against the Bearcats?
For us, my biggest thing here, the biggest challenge for us has been the mental side of things. Cleburne hasn't won a playoff game in 23 years, I believe, or 22 years. It's been a long time. So it's just that mental approach of, believing before you go out there. And it's the way you practice, it's the culture you build. And that's really what we're leaning on now, is that we have a few years now into the culture that we got started, and we preach and work on the mental aspect of things. And I think we saw a big jump last year in being able to, compete with the state's best, but still not being able to finish some games. So there's still a lot of growing room for us. But for Aledo, what you're going to get. They're not going to mess up. You've got to make sure that you limit yourself with penalties, and you tackle well in space, offensively, that you execute. If you do those things, then you can give yourself a chance. But the thing about them, they're champs for a reason, and they're definitely well coached and polished. And we gave it all we had last year, and we played them, for a good 3 quarters, and they took off in the 4th quarter with it.
Now, assuming that, well, let's just work on the assumption that Aledo will probably have one of the playoff spots. There's 3 still out there. Talk about what you guys have coming back that help you fight for that 2, 3, or 4 playoff spot.
Yeah, we lost a great quarterback in Gunnar Hammond, but we have another really, really good quarterback coming. He's going to be a junior. His name's Landry Shields, and he's got a big time arm. He's very intelligent, great leader. So when it's a nice feeling when you have that kind of that type of talent coming behind another guy. So we're starting there. We lost a great running back as well with Cleo Chandler, but we've got a running back by committee this next year that, for the first time, we've got some depth there, and that's going to help us. Our O-line's solid. They're getting better every year. We've had to fill some gaps on that linebacker, but they're coming along here in the spring, and people stepping up and getting it done. But I really feel overall in the skill positions, this might be a little bit stronger year for us than that all around than what we've had, and it's kind of proved that here in the spring. So there's definitely still some things we got to keep going with and improving on, obviously, but we feel good about our shot coming up.
This district's got a lot of new blood as far as
Yeah.
goes. I know Danny
Yeah.
came over to Joshua and Kitness in year two. Head coach name has escaped me already. Is in his early stages over there. Talk about, have you seen any kind of influx in new ideas with these new coaches coming in, or new ways you have to prepare for them, or what's it like?
With Danny coming into Joshua, we're both from Alvarado. He's a few years older than me, but I know exactly what he's fixing to do with Joshua, and he's really fixing to get them headed in the right direction, and they're going to be more competitive immediately. He's going to do a great job over there, and I'm not saying it's going to happen in a year, but you're going to see some great strides with that program. Kitna has, obviously bringing his knowledge and thing. The way he runs a program over at Burleson's phenomenal. And his son last year was a great football player, great quarterback that went to Florida. And they got great talent on the way. And he's going to do a great job with those guys. Coach Brown over at Timberview is another great. This district's full of great coaches. He does a great job with his guys, and you can go down the list. Matlock at Everman. I mean, he's the guy that's been there and done that. And of course Buchanan. At Aledo, and it's really just a talented group of coaches. You're going to have to be really well prepared every single week on all phases of the game. I'm just, I learn a lot from playing these guys, and I enjoy coaching against them. They run great programs.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you joining us, and let's hope you guys get to the playoffs, and I'd love to see you break that 23-year string as well.
We would too. We're battling to get it done.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.